What words would you choose to describe the best communicators who have connected with you? Entertaining? Interesting? Funny? Now think of the people you do not care for, whom you could not connect with. How would you describe them in one word? Boring? That's the best word that could describe someone whom you cannot connect with. To connect with others, you have to learn how to be interesting. Hello, this is Bisan, and I will help you dominate your life by helping you grow both personally and professionally. If you're interested in leadership, in personal development, or in communication courses, or if you want to have your free ebook on leadership, then make sure to click on the links in the description below. How to be interesting. Number one, take responsibility for your listeners. In general, there are no bad audiences, only bad speakers. When the audience is asleep, someone should get up on stage and wake up the speaker. It's your first responsibility as a speaker to gain and to keep your audience's attention. It's your job to create interest, to activate the listeners, to enjoy the experience, and to add value to them. So be intentional to create a positive, memorable experience. Number two, communicate in their world. People do not remember what we think is important. People remember what they think is important. There's an old saying, talk at me and I will not listen. You'll talk alone. Talk to me and I will listen. Talk about me and I will listen for hours. Number three, capture people's attention from the start. Mirna Moravsky said, people today have remote controls in their heads. If you do not catch their attention, they simply click you off. When you communicate with others, make sure you have a first impression and make sure it's a very good first impression and make sure you start well. You can start with a comment about the situation or the setting. You can start by introducing yourself, you can start with a humor, and you can start by creating a sense of anticipation. Number four, activate your audience. It is much more easier to communicate with people who are highly active and energetic, and it's much more difficult to communicate with people who are passive. So look for signs of involvement. Are they maintaining eye contact? Are they nodding for approval? Are they answering your questions? Are they applauding? Are they laughing? So make sure you keep them moving, make sure you ask them questions, and you ask them to interact with you. Number five, say it so it sticks. All great communicators have shared statements that people remembered even long after the speech was over. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." Lincoln said, "A government of the people, by the people, for the people." Churchill said, "Never, never, never give up." So to connect while communicating, make sure that you try to link what you say with what the audience or what the people need. Use shocking stories or shocking statistics. Say it in an interesting way. Use stories and use humor, and learn how to use the correct pauses. Number six, be visual. Most of us, we learn visually. So find a way to appeal visually by using PowerPoint, using graphics, using the right movement on stage, using facial expressions and eye contact. And make sure that you encourage the listeners to paint vivid paintings or vivid images in their minds. 7, tell stories. The most effective way to communicate properly and to create an enjoyable experience and memorable experience is by using stories. Stories are as old as a human race. We live stories and we love to tell them. When we share stories, we try to make sense of our experiences of them. And when we tell others our stories, then we help them understand us and understand the world. Connecting one-on-one create a sense of intimacy. That does not necessarily mean romantic intimacy, but it means a connection that's built on honest communication for both parties. Do that by telling stories, by asking questions, and by using humor. Connecting in a group, create a sense of shared accomplishments. Ask them to accomplish an enjoyable task together and make sure you involve everyone in the group. Connecting with an audience, use stories and use presentations enthusiastically. Use humor. Ask them questions and ask them to repeat some phrases, to clap, to sing. So involve the audience. Use facial expressions and use correct movement on stage. And when you tell a story, make sure you do not read it because that will block your eye contact with the audience. Be intentional to set aside some time to create enjoyable experiences for others. Robert Murray McShane said, "Joy is increased by spreading it to others." So be intentional while you communicate to spread the joy, because joy connects and joy inspires others. So tune into episode 9 to know how connectors inspire people.